Aw, yeah. What's up, guys? It's your boy Sasquatch here. And if you don't know what that picture is, let's see if you can see it. If you don't know what that is one of my favorite anime. Well, one of my favorite anime that there is. And I've decided to make a game review of the actual game. And that brings us to today's game review, which is this Initial D Extreme Stage for the PlayStation 3. And I don't know if you can tell, guys, but this game is in Japanese. Literally the whole game is in Japanese. It's pretty cool in some sort of way. And if you guys think that it doesn't play on the PS3, it actually does. I actually, when I got it, I didn't think it would actually play for my PS3, but it actually does. And since, as you can see, I am a pretty big fan of the series, and I've loved it a lot, and I always wanted to do a game review of this game. Keep in mind that once I actually play it, the menu screens and everything, it's all going to be in Japanese, so you might not understand what it does. Neither do I, only I could figure out through common sense if it's like the story mode or multiplayer or settings. But yeah, that's about it. As you can see, here's the disc. It's for PS3. Extreme Stage has a picture of the RX-7 FD3. Yeah, the FD, as they call it. The FD3S. Sorry about my stuttering. This is one of the Rivals car, if you've seen the anime. And it comes with a booklet and something else. What's this? Yeah. Let's look at the booklet really quickly. It has that cover art. There's the A86, one of my favorite cars. And the main character, Takumi. And this just shows you how to play a game and stuff. And other things. And that's about it. Yep. Shows you all the cars in the game as well. There you go. Let's get this review started. So, like I said before, Initial D Extreme Stage is an adaptation of the anime Initial D. The only thing that is probably different than the anime is the fact that you have to start from scratch. And what I mean by that, different opponents, sometimes repeated opponents, and so on. The other thing that I wanted to mention about this game is that it is a import from the actual arcade games of Initial D, which is Initial D Stage 1 through 6 AA right now, the current Initial D arcade series. But this game, since it was made a while ago, it's the port of Initial D Stage 4, I believe. I'm not too sure about that, but it's basically one of the arcade games ported into the PS3, and this is pretty good for people who want to have that arcade experience as a PS3 game, because some people just don't want to go and waste money on the arcade machines, even though the arcade machines are still relatively cheap. I I personally have also played the arcade games, and they're only 50 cents at the arcade place that I go to, and it's basically either you go to the actual arcades to play it or you have it at home, and the preferred option is to have it at home at your fingertips. But the only thing I could say about it is that it's not as fun as the arcade experience because of that the fact that you are by yourself playing a game that is from the arcades. Unless you had a steering wheel or yeah, steering wheel and pedals and the actual gaming steering wheel. It'll probably be more fun that way. But as you're gonna see right now in a bit, uh, I play with the controller since I don't really want to buy a steering wheel. And I play with a controller, and it's very, I don't want to say unusable, but very reactive, if that's a correct word, because as soon as you even touch the left analog stick to turn into corners, as you're gonna see right now in just a bit, it'll react so much that the actual car is very cartoony in a way, because if you barely even touch the left analog stick, it's going to turn turn into the wall, and it's that takes away some of the realism that the arcade ones had, because in the arcade ones, I'll describe you the arcade one, especially Initial D Stage 3, which I think is the best arcade one. You have to turn the wheel so much, which is an actual like realistic steering wheel. You have to turn it a lot, just like a real car, in order for you to actually make a turn, a very sharp turn to be exact, because these games have actual locations and actual maps where you have to drive through, and these locations have very sharp turns, and this is very complicated if for example you're not pretty good and you start to panic a bit because you don't know how to control the car. But nonetheless, if you're trying to look for a solid game to play, and you're a fan of Initial D, this might be the game for you. I would recommend it to fans of the anime. But if you're just a person who likes racing games, for example, like I like a lot of racing games myself, if you're just a person who's looking for a different type of racing game, like a drifting racing game or something, I could see you liking Initial D, even though they are very limited on the cars you get to pick, because there's only cars from the anime. And yeah, the cartoony style, the way everything works, it's too reactive. But just for fans and maybe some people who are looking to see what foreign games are like, I would recommend Initial D. But I would give it, from a scale from 1 to 10, I would give it like a 6. Even though I am a fan myself, I really don't like the game mechanics at all. But that's just my opinion. And yeah. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. I'm gonna bring more reviews to this channel. I have lots of games to review, and hopefully you guys stick around and see what other games I have in my collection. Thank you again, guys, and Please like, favorite, and subscribe. Peace.